retirement plan. Items been addressed at September 5th workshop, October 3rd workshop, and November the 7th workshop. Mr. Crayfield.
At the last workshop meeting, the board had requested that some additional analysis be conducted with respect to the yield and comparing a DC directly to a DB plan on an individual employee basis. And that analysis was done and it was submitted to each of you several weeks ago. And Mr. Steve Vaughn is here if you have any specific questions about that analysis that was conducted that you would request it to be done. And I have additional copies here in case you need a refresher.
I'd ask Steve if you would explain exactly what this analysis encompasses.
Mr. Chairman, there are really 2 pages. The request was made to use the. You can see that we have projected a 75.52% replacement ratio based on the assumptions and inputs that are up there above. Obviously, when you change any of those assumptions or inputs, that bottom number will change as well, higher or lower. But these assumptions are the same assumptions that were used in the study itself. That is the first page. The second page is a similar analysis, except that what we have added is we have altered the assumptions and inputs. We have identified what on the DB, we have added the DB plan assumptions and inputs there, and then we have changed the defined contribution, employer contribution, and employee contribution rates so that it would indicate what the new plan would be under the current scenario, and it assumes, quite importantly, that the employee will be paying the same amount, i.e. they will be paying 8%, 2% into the DB, 6% into the 457. And from that 6%, they would get additional 2.5% employer contribution from the 401A as was presented at the last meeting as a proposed adjustment to the plan. And you can see down at the bottom what the projected income replacement ratio is for that. It is approximately a 9.5% more replacement ratio under the proposed DB 457 401A plan than it is for the current plan as it exists today, which is the 401A 457. As I said, you can change the assumptions, you can get fancier on the analysis, you could do Monte Carlo simulation, you could do any number of things, but this is the same methodology that was used in the study. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Another funded investment income on the defined contribution plan, $574,000.
Yes, sir.
And on the other plan, it's $303,000.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How does that differ?
Because one of them is contributing 16% a year of an employee's salary, and the other one is contributing 8.5% total in one plan or the other. So with more contributions going in, those contributions are going to earn more income. The assumptions in terms of the investment returns are identical, as stated in the upper left-hand boxes of the sheets.
Under this present plan, the employees are getting a pension of 4%.
In terms of the defined contribution plan,
Plus the 4% match.
plus the 4% match.
That's 4% match.
Yes, sir.
They no longer get the 4% pension. That money is going to be moved over and applied to the employee year contribution. So I think the employees are getting that now in their paycheck, and they're also putting in 8%. I don't know any other place you can get 100% income off investment. They're putting in 8%, they're getting 8%.
Okay.
So I can imagine that they could not come up with a lot more money from interest or for that kind of money than you're talking about a lot less money over the other side, I believe.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, I'm not sure I'm following the
Well, you're taking the 4% that they're now getting already, and you're putting that up into 5.2% that's an employer contribution.
Oh, on the second page. Yes, sir.
Well, it's on the defined benefits side. whatever the page is, I didn't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. I've got a stapled 2 pages, and I've got the first and
I've got
second.
them all clipped together.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And then the employees now, instead of getting the 4%, they're going to be charged 2%. The employee contribution rate is mandatory 2%.
Yes, sir. It is mandatory under the proposal.
And then you're considering that all employers are going to put 6% in the contribution plan.
In order to make these as similar as possible, the assumption was made that if they're going to pay 8, if the employee is going to pay 8 under the first example, under your current plan, we assume the employee would pay 8 under the other. It's just a matter of where it gets paid.
Is that mandatory?
No, sir, nor is the 8 in front mandatory.
True.
Okay, so neither one are mandatory.
You don't know, right now you're saying you're getting about 6, there's 119 people not even back in the plan period, but they're getting 4%.
Yes, sir.
But what we're doing is making it mandatory for people to save money. I have a little problem with that. If they want to do that, that's fine. I'm all for them.
All right.
But to make people do things like that, it's like taking a horse to water and making it drink.
Currently, all I can tell you is currently the ACCG DB programs that exist today, approximately 21 of them are contributory plans that require contributions from employees into the DBs.
How many employees have you interviewed over this? Explain this process to me.
Which I haven't interviewed one. We were not charged with the responsibility of interviewing. We did have an employee committee. And normally when I work under an employee committee, they're usually the ones that provide the input one way or the other with regard to what they believe their colleagues will or will not prefer under any change in the retirement plan. And that's been the normal course of things, the way in which we work.
I don't think it's your place either, but I was wondering. I'm asking you the question as well.
Are there any
board members interview our employees about this situation? Anybody know? Zach, were you on the committee?
No, it's not on our committee yet.